Friday, January 3rd, 4:35 p.m. How's that sound now? All right, we're good to go. Friday, January 30th, 3rd, 4:35 p.m. 2025. You know, I was thinking, I really don't understand when I'm referencing the Holy Spirit episode I posted yesterday. I'm really shocked that the woman didn't swipe up on me. Amen. We just had a moment of silence for that woman. Prayers to her and her family and whatever brain disorder it is that they're suffering from for like multiple generations, like a multi-generational brain disorder throughout the whole family. Anyways, we're watching ESPN 8 the Ocho again. They're climbing this time. USA climbing. Friday, January 3rd, 4:37 p.m. I'm at my mother's house. You can do a live, yeah, whatever. Oh, he fell. Anyways. I was just thinking about what to talk about. I had something. It's kind of gone now. Oof. Oof. He just fell again. It's a different guy. Anyways. You know what I was thinking about? I watched the new Joker movie. If anybody hasn't seen it, I'd go watch it right now and then listen to this episode. Or watch the first one and then the second one. And then go listen to one of my episodes where I talk about the first one. And then I actually talk about it in 2 episodes. So go listen to the entire podcast. And then watch the first Joker movie and the second Joker movie. And then start listening to this episode. So in the second Joker movie, basically they turned it he's like the Joker in the first one, like he's trying to be a comedian, like a clown, right? But in the second one, it's all about music. I don't know if that's solely because of Lady Gaga being in it and if they're like trying to replicate like Broadway or if it's because her career started as a musician, or I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But I was listening to a buddy of mine a few months ago, right when it came out. Like, he saw it right when it came out, and I asked him how I was, and he said, I was all right. It was kind of weird. It was about a dream. Like, I guess it was all a dream, and it was all fake, and I don't know. I don't really remember. And I think he was talking about uh his dream that he had in the movie theater, because I forgot to mention this earlier, but this is a fentanyl addict, so this is definitely one of these fugue state fentanyl dreams that he was definitely talking about. I don't think he saw any of the movie, so that's what I get for trusting a fentanyl addict's take on a movie for 3 months. That shit fucked me up, dude. I thought he was talking about the coma dream. So that's what I get. Because the favorite movie is The Dark Knight, Joker. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? I was like, god damn it, what the hell? I was like, what the fuck? And then I didn't even think, right? He was nodding off while he was talking, fucking idiot me. He was sleeping, standing up, while he was telling me about the movie. Of course it was a dream. You were sleeping the whole movie, dude. I think that Lady Gaga wishes that instead of having to sing for 30 minutes for a Joker movie, which is about him telling jokes and being a comedian and wanting to but he's, yeah, you know. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to rewatch the movies again and re-listen to the entire podcast, my podcast myself, and then have to give another fresh take on it. That's what I'm gonna have to do for my homework. I'm gonna listen to every single song that Lady Gaga has released from chronologically, and then I'm gonna. Should I do it combined with all of her pieces of acting work? Because I know she's probably made some music after the fact that she started acting after her music career took off. So obviously she started her career in music. Poker face, poker face. Na 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 na. So then she started acting. And Lady Gaga, if you're out there, I need to talk to you on the podcast, or like in person, privately, if you'd prefer to do that. I'd actually prefer to do that. You know? To talk like about your history with like mental illness and things like that. Nothing else really. Nothing sexual. My dick doesn't work, so, you know. It's no offense to you, lady. I find you extremely attractive. Don't get me wrong. I wish you would suck the blood out of my entire body. Please, I'm not even joking about that. I'm not. I swear to God. I find you're, you know? So it's nothing personal. It's just, you know, I don't know. I don't really think you could do it. You could try, but, you know. I'd really like to focus in on the mental illness thing, though, if that'd be okay with you. And then, you know, you could suck the blood out of my body. I'd pay you. I'd pay you good. Just save the body for the cats, my cats. So you can suck my blood out of like all 10 pints if you want. I'd prefer that. Just get this episode out to Lady. If you can, please. I'll send it to her because I need somebody to do something with the adrenochrome, the adrenaline, because the cats aren't going to be able to use it properly. You know what I mean? They don't have a very good work ethic. They kind of lay around and do nothing all day because they're fucking cats. But I'd like to talk to you, lady, about what you thought about the whole singing aspect, particularly in the movie, the second movie. Found it really odd. Why did it shift to singing? Is it because I really don't even understand. Like they kept breaking out into song and dance, and I thought it. I understand that was all hallucinations, all part like every time the song broke out, but why weren't there any songs in the first movie? He hallucinated a bunch in the first movie. He did that plenty well without shitty fucking music to get that point across. We don't need shitty fucking like 50s Broadway like backup singer, like a backup singer on a Broadway show that fucking bombed in 1950. We don't need that lady to be singing for 30 minutes during the fucking Joker 2 movie to get the point across that it's a hallucination. Because when they're singing the whole time, nothing is actually happening in the movie. It's like you're watching a Broadway play. It's fucking retarded. Yeah. Anyways, that was my take on the Joker 2 movie. Whoa, 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 whoa. Anyways, what are we going to talk about today? Well, the 3 bets are out. Go do the bets, do that. I'll have a player prop episode and maybe a couple of bets for tomorrow and Sunday's games. Depending on the injuries, it's hard to tell. With the injuries and the people getting benched and all that shit. So, yep. What do we do here? What do we do today? I don't really even know. I don't really know what to talk about today. I had something and then it's gone, and now I'm just like, whatever, man. Who gives a shit? Let's talk about these people, USA climbing. They're doing rock wall climbing, but the kind of rock walls where it's just little like things, like little holes for your fingers. I'll let you know if anybody swipes up on me today. So what's a cool thing is an iblucination, an iblucination. So ib versus hallucination. So I don't know if the Joker experienced this at all, or Lady Gaga's character, or maybe Lady Gaga. I'd like to talk to Lady Gaga in person about it, preferably. No, I really would. I'd like to see what her take is on the iblucination versus the hallucination. The iblucination is so you know when you hallucinate, when you're on drugs or mental illness or inserted from like godlike hallucinations, or you're like got like a hell filter on, or you're in hell. Those are all possibilities. A simulation, but that's been disproven by me. Go listen to the other episodes. Basically, the fact that yeah, whatever. Yeah. I'm not going to get into it right now. They also have bags of chalk on their ass when they're climbing these walls. There's a timer. There's 30 seconds left. Some of the hot ladies wear spandex. Some of them are, thick enough to the point, but none of them are too thick because they have to rock climb. And they're 16. Yeah, this one's 16. I'm pretty sure that's legal in Wisconsin. 16, age of consent. So don't come at me. I didn't make the law. This lady's 20 years old. See, and now we're talking. She's got 2 minutes left, so this is going to be a long, you know what I mean? God, the women are so slow. They're really not that good at climbing. You think they'd be better because they're dainty little fingers. Jesus. St. Paul, Minnesota, represent. The iblucination. So a hallucination is so I'm just gonna go to the dictionary here and do hallucination. I don't think ib is a term yet. Hallucination caused by trauma, delusion, illusion, figment of the imagination, vision, apparition, mirage, chimera, fantasy, dream, daydream, hallucinations, delirium, da 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 da. Yeah, but it's much different than like the vision of heaven and the light that I had. Obviously, that was not a fucking hallucination. That's like when I say real, like the senses, just go listen to the rest of the podcast. That's why I say this. Because I talk about the light so much and the other side of the light and all of that shit. That I've almost like talked myself into like like being brainwashed and re-listening to every episode like over and over many times. I've like brainwashed myself with my own podcast. I've overpowered God's ability to brainwash because who else would be able to do that other than the creator of the universe? What? And like I've been doing it to myself with my own podcast, just re-listening to every episode over and over. That I'm like, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light, the light. I talk about it every episode almost. And I'm just like, wrong. I'm zonked. I don't think that's a word either. So those are two words that I bring to the table. Iblucination. It's not a term. Yeah, so iblucination versus hallucination. Because HA, hallucination. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. A is the first, so 8-1. I just go to IB, which is the 9th letter of the alphabet, I, and B, the 2nd letter of the alphabet. I was going to go G0, G-O, go hallucination, like go to hell, go hallucination, Lucifer, hell breaks loose, the Eminem song, go hallucination. But I liked IB better, IB, hallucination. It's basically when you hallucinate, like if in the Joker movies, they basically, shit's going on. Like he hallucinates people talking and saying things in scenes in the movie that didn't actually happen. But imagine the opposite of that. So somebody's standing or sitting right next to you right now, or me, and I don't even see them or hear them or even know that they're right there, touching me or talking to me. That's an iblucination. I coined the term. Ib. Iblucination. So somebody's my mother or a woman or Lady Gaga. Maybe I should go to the psych ward. Maybe I should get on some medication that would help with that kind of thing. You think? Even though it's not really a term or a thing that anybody's really ever talked about or thought about. But you're just hallucinating somebody actually, or of an object actually being there, or somebody, but that would be impossible for a human brain at the age of 25 to do that, even with a brain tumor. You know what I mean? You know? So, ta-da! Life can be pretty shit that quick. You know what I mean? Praise God, praise the light, thank Jesus. You know what I mean? Be yourself and move on. Try to help people if you give a shit. If you don't, then whatever. So yeah, iblucination. So if somebody was talking, imagine somebody talking to you, but you don't even know that they're there, or you can't even see them or hear them. They're basically invisible. And none of your other senses are picking up on the fact that they're in your presence or in your vicinity. So iblucination. What was the other one? Zonked. 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 That just means like Like even like it's like a combination of brainwashed and high. And maybe a little bit of retarded too. Brainwashed, high, and retarded. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of retarded. Not very much at all. That's what zonked means. I'm just getting all these out now in case I die tonight. In case my mom poisons me and puts ricin in my pasta. Zonked, Iblucination. No, Mom, I'm not hungry right now. She was at the store, but she's actually sitting right next to me. So she's waiting for my response when as me I'm talking into the microphone. But I figured I'd coin that term before somebody else did. Lady Gaga, just to let you know, I will be getting on medication. So if you know what I mean? So I can try to get hard because if I don't know that you're in my presence or anything, I don't see you or I don't feel you. I don't feel your lips on my cock, or whatever. I don't see your beautiful face sucking my cock. Then it's gonna be pretty challenging for me to get hard. So I'm gonna actually, this whole time, it's all for me. One of the big things has been don't get sent away to the psych ward or get on medication. Nobody will take me seriously ever again. So I've actually done a complete 180. So, you know what I mean? I'll get the podcast out to you if I can. And that won't be an issue either. For you or for me. And we can talk about mental illness. Help people not have to struggle alone about mental illness. I would prefer if we could do video for the first episode or the first video episode. And we could do like a blood charity drive or something. I wonder if they have adrenochrome charity drives. I wonder if the politicians do any fundraisers for any of those. Adrenochrome charity drives. Oh, the 16-year-old's back. I don't know if the rock climbing competition is in Wisconsin. What time of year or what year it actually took place. I think 2019, so I'm a couple years late. Now this woman, see, I was going to say is of age, but so is the 16-year-old. She just has to consent. So, yeah, 20 years old, 16. They call the rock things problems. Something tells me that might be bullshit. Whatever. Anyways, I don't know if why the Joker represented himself, if he was trying to do like trying to be Ted Bundy. You know what I mean? Because Ted Bundy represented himself, and I don't know why he would fire his lawyer. He definitely has like a brain problem. Damn, she slipped. One and two. Anyways, I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take the DSM 6. I'm not sure when the DSM 6 is coming out. I know, let's see here for the DSM 5. How long ago did the DSM 5 come out? I'm coloring. DSM 5. DSM 5. 2013. So 12 years ago. A revised version was published in 2022. So I'm looking for the DSM 6 release date. I want to be at the midnight launch for that. The book signing. I might be able to sign some books for you there too. You never know. Might have to wait for another decade or so for the 7 due to them probably not wanting to bring autobiographies and that kind of thing into the mix yet. But let's see here. I'm fucking coloring. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm coloring and I'm trying to figure out when the 6th edition is going to come out. Wait, what? Yeah, they talk a lot about transitioning into DSM 7. As technology and advancements in the field of autism research continue to progress, the release of DSM 7, the latest edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, is on the horizon. With the introduction of DSM 7, it's important for users of DSM 6.2 to be aware of the transition process and consider upgrading to the latest version. As technology and advancements in the field of autism research continue to progress. That's good. I'm Do they talk about medication on here? Do you get medication if you're autistic? This is above and beyond abtaba.com. Not reliable enough for me. You can go to hell. Release date for the 6th. That's what I want to know. Why is it just keep talking about autism? I want to know about the Iblucination medication. If they have that out yet. Iblucination medication. Iblucination prescription medication. Not hallucinations. God damn it, man. Yeah, it's not a thing, obviously. Well, can we put this into the we need people to be treated for this all over the country and the world. People need help. I'm trying to help people clearly. I mean, I'm coloring. I really want to know clearly but also if I would prefer to I'm actually going to probably have to talk to my therapist and see if they have anything for that. Um, I haven't talked to her in a long time. It's probably been a year, but before that, not it'd been a while before that too. My therapist is the microphone, so you know. So microphone, what do you have to say about the Iblucination thing? See, that's the thing I like about microphone therapy. There's not a lot of back talk. There's not a lot of chit chat back and forth. You know what I mean? Pretty one way. I have yet to do an episode with anybody, really. I got my mom for like a sentence or two, but that's the thing. Do you guys hear Lady Gaga right now? If you do, tell me. Can you comment which medication I can get on, please? I really need to actually get on that ASAP because I'd like to enjoy this life while I still can. I could get in a car accident today and die. You know what I mean? So I'd prefer to get on that medication just for the hallucinations because that's really the only one that's bothering me that much. Everything else is really not even that. I haven't had any flare ups or issues with anything else. Just the hallucinations. I'm not even joking. This is what I would tell my therapist, and she'd be like, "All right, we got to up the dose on the medication for the hallucinations." I don't even think they have any medication. So you know what I mean? That's what I'm dealing with. And if there's anybody out there in the DSM 6 or 7 in the future that is struggling with that, I know a therapist that would try very hard to make sure that medication was um, made if it has not already been biologically, like chemistry wise, and engineered in terms of the combination of ingredients for that type of ailment. Because I wouldn't wish it upon anybody, especially with, Gaga. Color, 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 color time. You just gotta keep coloring, coloring. You gotta keep coloring. Pretty soon we're gonna invent a new color here as well. Then I'm going for the inventing a new color wheel. So inventing a new color wheel. Yes, that's correct. Try to imagine what a new color. I've talked about this a few times on the podcast. I'll just do it again quickly. Just try to imagine what a color looks like that you've never seen before, that nobody's ever seen before. You can't do it, can you? Just close your eyes. You can't really imagine what a color looks like if you've never if your eyes have never pictured it, unless like God is sending it to you like an image of the color, which is you probably do. You might do. I don't know. He, she, it thing. Anyways, I'm just coloring. What else did we talk about? Let's look through Lady Gaga's acting portfolio. Wonder what her real name is. A Star is Born. Machete Kills. House of Gucci. Joker. Folie à deux. Music videos. I'm not interested in. Well, I'll watch those later. Music video, music video, music video. City Life Org. Oh, she has a podcast. No, just kidding, lady. City Life Org is her podcast series. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. Muppets Most Wanted. Machete Kills. I already said that one. The Simpsons TV series. She's in one episode of The Simpsons. Men in Black 3. Oh, I haven't even seen that in a long time. God damn, I didn't know she was in that either. Gossip Girl. She's in one episode of that. I'm skipping all of her music videos because, she's in one episode of The Sopranos as well. It's a pretty impressive acting portfolio, if you ask me. A Star is Born. I said that. I really want to listen to her podcast. House of Gucci. I said that. Joker, Fally Ado. 5.2. IMDb 5.2. Fally Ado 5.2. Fally Ado 5.2. Fally Ado 5.2. Wow. Well, I'm still coloring. What are you doing? It's a Friday night. What do you want to do? Do you want to come over? Are you over here right now? I'm gonna talk to my therapist on Monday, or I might buy some medication online. To figure out that situation because she's been one of my favorites for most of my like I mean, what is she, 48? Yeah, she kind of looks like they started to suck. I don't know if liposuction and that kind of surgery, like plastic surgery, I don't know if they suck any of the fat, like the normal flesh out of you beforehand, and then they put the plastic in there or the silicone in there. But it looks like they started the sucking process a little bit in some of these pictures, and then they just didn't put anything in, which is not even a bad thing. It's partly why I like her. So and that was after she was drugged. You know what I mean? They put her under, like they gave her anesthesia or whatever it's called when they fuck, but they like drugged her. Like they gave her like like they gave her like morphine or fentanyl. And then she woke up right afterwards and she was like, no, 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 we're done. And then they put her back down. They gave her even more fetty. And then she popped back up and she's like, no, I don't want to do the procedure anymore. I'm done. So they didn't put any of the silicone or the plastic in there or whatever the hell it is. So she was able to muster up the strength during that like drug induced suppression of her consciousness and her heart rate. So maybe you can do something for society as well. You can try to color, make a new color. Don't try, do or do not. There is no try. That's what Yoda said, right? Yeah. Do or do not. There is no try. So, yeah. You'd recommend I just don't do it. That's what you're saying, Yoda? Trying to do it is no good. It's better if I just don't do it. No wonder they didn't have him in any of the new the most recent trilogy. Fucking dude is off his rocker, man. That's what the like he's 1,000 years old. So like imagine like 250 years of dementia and Alzheimer's relative to like how old a human lives. Like, you know what I mean? You start getting that like in your later years. Average age of death in this country is like mid 70s, low 70s, around there. He's 1,000 years old. That dude is his brain is cooking with those fucking neurodegenerative brain disorders for like a couple of centuries. So that's why they had to write him off. I don't know why they wrote off Lady Gaga's character in American Horror Story. Um, hmm. I wonder if they're gonna make a Harley Quinn movie with her, or did she die? I don't. Dude, I was kind of drunk when I watched it. I watched it at my dad's house. I was kind of drunk, so I'm gonna have to rewatch it. That's why I said I had to rewatch it again. Uh, all jokes aside, if you're gonna use a pistol, lady, just aim for the mouth. No, aim. Don't aim for the mouth. Aim for. You'll probably bleed out if you just aim for the chest, like the belly or the foot. You don't need to do the head thing. Huh. Anyways, we're almost at an hour. This is. I feel like I've hit a dead, a dead part in the episode. I feel like I talked about what I needed to talk about. It's one of those episodes. It's one of those episodes where you are at the end of like 40 or beginning of 50 minutes and you're like, oh, geez, yeah. I feel like if I talk about another subject, I'm going to go on like a 30-minute rant. And then I'm going to even forget like what the point was to begin with. Shh. You hear that? That'd be the godlike. Because when a human brain, even if you're doing like meth for like 5 decades, um, and like you have a brain tumor rotting like your entire skull and your entire inner like brain cavity and everything, the brain stem even, like it's rotted your brain so much that it's actually uh rotted the brain stem and the spinal cord and the central nervous system like so intensely that that's what you are now. You are a tumor. Your entire body, like your entire central nervous system, your skeleton, everything, your spine, all the neurons firing in your brain and your skull is a tumor. All the words coming out of your mouth, all the smells, it's all tumor based. Tumor based reality. And then, you have a meth rotted brain because you've smoked glass for 50, 60 years. Not even that. You know what I mean? Would be able to make me iblucinate this badly. I'm gonna need a really, really good, like 5, 6 medication cocktail dose of prescriptions in order to fix this whole situation. You know what I mean? The iblucination prescription medication situation. So, um, I don't really even know what to say. I'm kind of in shock. That's the thing. That's why I'm kind of like at like a weird point mentally. I'm like, God damn it, dude. This whole time I'm like, don't do it, Hayden. But now I'm like, now I want to. Now I wish I would have done it like 2 years ago. Just to see if I can get hard. You know what I mean? I'd probably need to add like a blue, I don't know, blue chew. I don't know if my therapist would prescribe me erectile dysfunction medication. I'm sure she could, right? Why would she not be able to? She's a therapist and a psychiatrist. For a long time, I thought I just needed oxycodone and Xanax, and maybe a little bit of Adderall, and I figured I'd be good on those 3. Like a tight knit, just those 3 medications, nothing else. No pot, no booze. I mean, obviously some cigarettes or some nicotine, but that's it. Just those 3. That's what I thought I needed for a long time. We haven't ever tried that. You understand me? She hasn't ever, like, even I haven't suggested it, but if I don't suggest it because, I'm a somewhat knowledgeable guy. I'm not an idiot, but I'm not like a you know what I mean? I'm not, I'm not that smart. But I know, and she probably knows that I know, because she knows that those 3 medications are probably gonna work fine. For the hallucinations as well. It'll work for everything. I've been talking about that for, honestly, over 2 years. I've been saying that. Oxycodone, Xanax, and Adderall. That's it. That's all you need. Obviously, nicotine like, "Oh, Hayden, you said you wouldn't do any other drugs. Just those 3." Nicotine's a drug, tobacco's a drug. You know how many drugs are you know how many, chemicals are in cigarettes? Yeah, but that's the thing. When you do those 3 a combination of those 3 prescriptions, y y you smoke cigarettes. You smoke cigar you smoke cigarettes no matter what. If you use those 3 drugs on a consistent, like, daily basis, which is what I think is I haven't talked to her in a I haven't seen her in a long that's really my fault for not going up there and seeing her. Should I just steal one of her prescription pads? I will, I'll do it. Just forge her signature, it's not that hard to do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Anyways, anywho, anyhow, we got a minute till we're at 60. Alright, so I'm still coloring this one picture that I've been really pushing to finish it here at the end. The thing is I really like coloring. You know when I started coloring? This is actually a really cool story. Anonymity. Back when I was, about 16 or 17, maybe 17, I went to an inpatient treatment center, and the same one with that's where I met my therapist that I've been talking about in this episode. I haven't mentioned her name or anything like that. Um, she's not from Minnesota or Wisconsin. She's out of state. But anyways, but when I met her, that's the same treatment center where people there were you they had adult coloring books and gel pens. like really cool adult coloring books and pictures. We'd print them out, you know, like ones that we liked that other people had. And we use gel pens because gel pens pop the most, especially when you laminate them. When you laminate the pictures, the colors pop like a motherfucker. They're bright and shiny as fuck. They're very vibrant. And it's very good for anxiety, things like that. So it's really good for mental health and mental illness, for me personally. A lot of them as well. I'm sure a few of them still probably color as well. That was almost 9 years ago. So I've been coloring for 9 years, and I've really loved it ever since I started doing it. Back then, I started doing it because there was some really trippy, like really like in terms of like shapes and like geometric designs and like kaleidoscope adult coloring pictures, and they were really cool colors. So I really wanted to color them in bright colors because they were really trippy, and just trip out on acid and mushrooms and a bunch of psychedelics and stare at all the cool pictures in a black light. Back when I was in treatment, that's what I really wanted to do. That was my goal and vision when I first started coloring. And a lot of the other guys had the same vision. So if you just keep at it, you'll get there. You'll have a bunch of pictures on your wall in your apartment, and then you'll fall asleep on your couch, and the fucking retarded dickhead neighbors who just moved in will start a fire, and everything will get smoked out. Yeah, I can clean the laminated pictures off, but they're all brown and disgusting. They, the firemen took like, they took all, you know, the better part of uh, a half an hour, the better part of an hour, I should say, right? It was more than 30 minutes. And they live right across the bridge. They live like a mile or two away. So if any firemen want to relocate to Newport, Minnesota, they might need your help in the future. They definitely needed help in the past. So, Newport, Minnesota, it's just 10 minutes south of St. Paul, which is a really nice close drive. The drive to St. Paul from Newport looks like a scaled down, shittier, dumpier version of the Alaska drive from Anchorage to Palmer on the highway by the ocean in Alaska, right on the side of the mountains. The drive from Anchorage to Palmer, and then you see the road on the left side of Alaska by the ocean and the mountains on the right side. If you scaled that down to size and made it about Minnesota, like the Twin Cities side in terms of landscape, and you're driving to St. Paul on 10 and 61 from Newport, and you have the little shitty fucking hill on the side on your right side, and you have like a lake and like a shitty pond and the fucking dump of the dump of a Mississippi River to your left, and you see St. Paul off in the distance to the like a mile or two ahead of you, next to the dump of a pond. But in Alaska, it's a lot bigger. It's way more spread out. The ocean's huge, and the town in the distance is so fucking far away. And there's mountains like 20,000 feet right next to you. But if you scaled it down and made it like a shittier, pretty flat and boring version of that, that's what you would get on your drive from Newport to St. Paul if you wanted to go try to find women leaving the bar at 2 a.m. To take home with you. Because they actually need volunteer lughead firemen as well, too. They need volunteer lugheads in Newport, Minnesota. I'm not kidding, it's a 10-minute drive south of St. Paul. Southeast, I should say. Excuse me. Yep.